According to a 2016 study, of the 140 million Americans that make a New Year's resolution every year, only 9% feel that they were successful. As somebody who's been weight training consistently for the past 8 years, I have seen this happen every single January, where the gym gets super packed, and then by March, it completely drops off and it's all the regular people back again. In this video, we will go over the 3 most common reasons that people fail to keep their New Year's resolutions, the 3 things that we can do to fix that, and finally, the driving factor that leads to lasting results. The 3 reasons people fail are specificity, difficulty, and friction. For the purposes of this video, we are going to use exercise for the examples given because according to a Forbes survey of Americans, improved health was the #1 New Year's resolution of 2023. Most people's goals lack specificity. The most common New Year's resolution was, I want to improve my health, I want to work out more. That's it. That's not a specific goal. How we can fix that is to be more specific. Let's say, for example, to set an exact number of days per week that we are going to do our goal. So changing I want to exercise more into I want to exercise 3 times a week. That takes our specificity up to level 1. Now let's go up to level 2 by specifying what time of day we're going to work out. I could say if I want to exercise more, I'm going to exercise every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. on my way back from work. Now I have a specific time and date for this exercise that I'm going to be doing. So it goes from I want to exercise more to I'm going to exercise every single so-and-so day of the week. Now that the goal is more specific, the second thing we want to do is reduce difficulty. So another thing that can be very daunting to people when they start out a New Year's resolution is that it's too challenging. Like if I were to tell you, let's say you've never worked out a day in your life, and I were to tell you, I want you to work out for 2 hours a day, 6 times a week. You would be like, that's insane. I can't do that. Mentally, I'm not there yet. Physically, I'm not capable of doing that. If we're gonna keep our example from before, I wanna work out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. I'm gonna work out for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is extremely doable. I don't think anyone watching this would be like, 10 minutes is too long. I don't have 10 minutes. Everybody has or can make 10 minutes of their life to be available for something. If they decide that it's important enough to them, I guarantee every single person can make 10 minutes free. So we reduce the difficulty. 10 minutes is a small commitment. We're focusing on building that habit up. Once we get that, of course, then we can ramp up the intensity as we'll talk about later. But for now, we just want to build up that consistency of 3 times a week, I'm exercising for 10 minutes at X time. Finally, we want to reduce friction. So by reducing friction for the behaviors that we want to engage in, that allows it to be much easier for that to happen. An example of this would be that if I want to go to the gym every day, I can pack my gym clothes the night before. In fact, that's something that I actually do because it helps me. Then I don't have to think about it in the morning. It's all ready to go. I don't have to have that back and forth with myself of like, oh, am I gonna work out today? I don't know, maybe not. It's like, no, I already decided last night, my clothes are already here, I'm just gonna take them with me. Another way that I reduce friction in my life is that I go straight from work to the gym. The reason that I do this is it doesn't give me that buffer time or that comfort of like coming home first and relaxing and then trying to get over those mental barriers of like, oh, like, you know, it's so nice here. I think I'll just skip today and I'll go tomorrow. If I go straight from work to the gym, I'm already there. There have been so many days where I really don't want to work out and I'm really exhausted, but I've already built it into my schedule and I've already driven to the gym. And so I'm sitting in my car just thinking like, I don't want to work out. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. But since I'm already at the gym, I just grab my clothes and I go and change and I work out. Another cool thing that we can do, and I got this idea from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, which I strongly recommend if you're interested in behavior change like I am, you should definitely check out that book. But he gives this idea that we should also increase friction for the things that we don't want to do. So for example, playing video games can be a huge time waster for a lot of people. It definitely is for me. There was this one game that I was obsessed with called Clash Royale. I don't know if anyone plays this game, but I actually deleted it off of my phone because I wanted to increase friction every time I wanted to play that game. And so I'm like, okay, well now if I want to play this game, I have to re-download it, wait for it to download, you know, wait for my settings to import and then start playing. Whereas if I just left it on my phone and left it right on the main screen, I'd be able to find it really easily. Another example of this with video games is like, let's say I had a PS5, I don't, but let's say I did. Every time I played it, I could then pack it up and put it away. And so the next time that I go to play it, I would have to unpack it, take out the controller, set up all the cables, plug the HDMI in, and then start playing. And so I'd be increasing the friction, making it way more difficult for me to engage in this behavior that I don't want to be engaging in all the time, to reduce the amount of time that I actually spend on it. Okay, now for the most important part, which is the final driving factor that leads to results, is identity change. I'll give you guys an example from my life. I chose the identity of being a bodybuilder before I was actually a bodybuilder. I knew in my head that I wanted the result of being a bodybuilder, but first I had to take on the identity of somebody who is a bodybuilder. And what do people who are bodybuilders do? They train almost every single day and they stick to their nutrition plan. And so every single day that I trained properly and that I stuck to my nutrition plan, that was a vote for me being the type of person that I wanted to be, which was to be a bodybuilder. So every single day I was voting for that identity and I was creating that identity in myself. By the end of my competition prep, I finally achieved that identity. I actually had the body of a bodybuilder. I actually was able to get on a stage and actually able to compete. But if I hadn't embraced that identity first and taken action every single day towards achieving that identity, I wouldn't have achieved that goal. Okay, that pretty much sums up behavior change, building habits, reaching the goals that we want for our new year. The reason I'm releasing this video in February is because I think this is the time of year that a lot of people start to drop off from their New Year's resolutions. So hopefully this video can serve as motivation for you to keep going, to make those changes, make the things that you want to do less difficult, so that you can actually do them consistently and build that habit in place, and then start to embrace the identities that you want for your life. If you enjoyed this video and want to dive more into the details of habit building, check out this video right here that I made about Atomic Habits, summarizing the entire book. With that being said, I hope that you watching this have a great day. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.